without taking any break. For the first technical session, for today's technical session, the session is on health, hygiene, and environment. And the moderator will be, I would like to invite the moderator, Mr. Ravi Armo sir. Ravi Armo sir is the moderator for this session. And the second moderator will be Kanta Reza ma'am. Kanta Reza ma'am will be assisting Mr. Ravi Armo sir. Every speaker's guideline will be shared by the moderator, and I am taking the name of all the speakers who will be joining in this session. SK Sriyar Panna. SK Sriyar Panna from Bangladesh. Promisha Misra. Promisha Misra is the second candidate, second delegate who will be the speaker. The third will be Bala Jyoti Naruppu. Bala Jyoti Naruppu. The fourth one is Masuma Moriom. Masuma Moriom. These four will be the speakers, and we'll be having a question and answer session with them too, up to Ravi Armo sir. Thank you, Ravi Armo.
Thank you. Hello. Good morning. Myself, Ravi Armo, professionally an employee who is working under the Ministry of HRD, Government of India. It's my privilege and pleasure on behalf of Kalam Youth Leadership Conference 2020 International Webinar by Home Foundation. I welcome you in this very special or grand occasion. We are delighted to have you with us to participate and share your thoughts, ideas. Thought Foundation, no doubt, provides opportunities to young blood to explore themselves for nation building, where they feel better. Whatever areas you have chosen, whatever field you have, where you are doing your best, will be good for our nation. From where you belong, it's not a matter for us to think. Once again, I am welcoming you. As some guidelines, it is given already to all of us. But again, I am sharing here the guidelines for all of us. 5 to 8 minutes will be for all the speakers. Just after 5 minutes, our teammates, they will give you intimations that how much time is still remaining. But when you are having or when you are crossing the last minutes, there you will get the signal of red. If you are crossing that, what will happen? Will not entertain, or simply what we can say, your voice will be not audible to others. So now, get ready, all of us. Get ready, my dear all speakers. First is SK Sriyar Panna from Bangladesh. You are most welcome. Let's have your presentation, please.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning everyone. This is Shariyat from Bangladesh, and thanks to organizer for this chance, and obviously for such wonderful young from different countries. And now I will share my presentation. My presentation name is Our Journey from Bangladesh. Everyone see this?
It has been seen.
Thank you so much.
Panna, please make it full screen. Make it a slideshow of full screen.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome to my journey from Bangladesh. I am SK Sriyar Panna. My organization name is Utsargo Foundation Bangladesh. Utsargo Foundation Bangladesh is a social organization in Bangladesh, and we are working in total whole country, and our volunteer now 2 lakh young people in Bangladesh. Some common diseases in Bangladesh, we know that diarrhea, cholera, hepatitis B, dengue, malaria, maternal mortality, diabetes, mental disorder, etc. Now you are all see a graph. Dengue fever. Dengue fever is most common disease in Bangladesh, and this is the IEDCR graph chart in some years. Our dengue reduce project, Utsarga Foundation Bangladesh, working for reduce dengue fever. Our volunteer and our teammate was working for this reducing dengue fever. Maternal mortality in Bangladesh, some causes that hemorrhage, eclampsia, abortion is most common cause. And we are watching a graph chart 1990 to 2015 in Bangladesh, source of World Health Organization. Our work for reducing maternal mortality, our volunteer was working for reducing that, free health camp and free sanitary pad distribution for rural women. Regular free blood donation camp. We are arranged regular free blood donation camp for reduce maternal mortality. Our some work plan for future local health education in media, etc. And I have a message for all participants. I have a sorry.
Please continue, Panna. That's a disturbance noise. Please continue.
Yeah. I have a message. Do something for people. Nature will surely reward you one day. And we are working for this session. We are working for our project, our plan for helping people, helping community, and make a good country, make a helpful and honestly country for Bangladesh. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you from Foundation. Thanks all organization team for join me and connect me from Bangladesh. And Joy Jagat, Joy Bangla. Thank you.
Nice, dear. Very good. Now, as we have here's a presentation of our young blood from Bangladesh. He has very nicely presented. Now, I would like to request Promisha Mishra.
Hello.
Am I audible?
It's on water.
Yeah, you are audible.
What's the reason why? What's it?
Okay, can I
Rest are
start now?
humbly requested to please. Yeah, just a minute. Rest all are humbly requested. Please mute your device.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the opportunity. I would like to thank the team, organizer team, and the organization. So my topic is menstrual health management, and I'm Promisha Mishra. I call myself as a PAD leader from our campaign PAD Bank. Basically, I would like to talk. My presentation is about menstruation and how it kind of roles in our life. So menstruation is a very natural and very powerful phase of woman's life, as we all know, and this is the age group in which we menstruate, 12 to 45. Normally, it's average for 5 days, and it's the most amazing part of our life. And these are the things which are included: hormones, ovaries, uterus, and then we get through menstruation. So we take it as a negative thing. We try to hide it in most of our South Asian society. Okay, I'm menstruating. We tell to everyone it slowly with our girlfriends. We don't like to share with everyone. But we can remember that when how period plays a role in our life. When we are late for one day, how do we react? Or anyone who is male here, do you know how a woman feels when her period is late for one day? And then after some days getting late, you are going through period, how she feels. How many of you know, mostly a woman knows that how she feels when she goes through her period after those late times. So then period is such a good thing, then what's the wrong thing with the menstruation we are getting through? Why are we not trying to talk about menstruation? Why are we not trying to get open up about this? So there is nothing wrong with menstruation, but the way we are treating it is very wrong. We try to hide it. We try to tell that okay, it's a wrong thing. We should hide it. Well, that how we react to it is a wrong thing. We call it as the name. Those days are going. My red code is going on, and different kind of names are in different kind of society as dependent on caste and community. We are dependent. We are telling these names, and we are abusing our menstruation. Comfort is more important regarding menstruation than our health and hygiene in today's days. Like you can see the third picture where in most of the ads there is like it's the ad of the sanitary pad, and they try to power the blue color or transparent any kind of liquid and show us, okay, this will not leak. Come on, no one bleeds the blue kind or other colors blood. We just bleed red blood, and you can show the red liquid on that we bleed, and okay, this is not leakage. So from there starts the difference. We start disrespecting our period, insulting our period. So in ads we need to be serious that why don't you show the red blood there. And our unmanaged menstruation, only 80% of women, it's the data about Nepal, 80% of women of our country does not have any accessibility to sanitary pads, that is the kind of healthy proper pads. Some women are already using dry leaves, husks, hay for their menstrual controls, and uterus prolapse, cervical cancer, vaginal infection, and different kind of diseases are happening to them. And worst is their sterility, etc. are hidden problems. And in our let's talk about the commercial pads. There are already dioxin, pesticides, BPS, PAS, and chemicals used for fragrances. And according to WHO, annually 2.9% cervical cancer is due to the sanitary pads and due to the chemicals used there. So, what is the social problem? Social problem in this: if a girl misses 4 days of school every 4 weeks, that is in a month, so 10 to 20% of her school days will be missed. That's a very easy data. Okay, in 1 month she is missing 4 days of school or 5 days of school. What about in a year? She will miss 2 months of her school, that is 60 days. After child marriage, menstruation is another reason for a school drop in girls. And we are talking about, okay, we don't have women CEOs, we don't have women in this field, that field. Come on, you are already biasing them during the school day just because they bleed, just because the nature have given them the special point that they can continue the earth, they can make babies, and you are punishing them for that. So this is one of the news cutting I have told. Banned menstruation hurt. This is the way in India it is called as gaukar, and in Nepal it is called as chaupadi. And these are the things they are supposed to live in another house where animals are living, or it's far from the home, and you are not allowed to touch any member of your family. Such are the things we react to our periods. And the economic politics behind menstruation is, let's remember to our ads. When we when the ads of the sanitary pads talk about the extra long night pads, they tell you ये उन दिनों के लिए. Come on, those days have already names. That is menstruation in Hindi or Nepali. They are known as Mahnavari, Mas. They already have names. उन दिनों के लिए. We don't have name for उन दिनों. Let's not tell it as उन दिनों के लिए. Let's tell it that the period is. And there are absorbent gels and blah blah. This is the same with diaper industry as well. There are very few industry sanitary pads and reusable pads. And these are some of the data in Nepal, where how much pads are imported from worldwide. And above all, in most of the South Asian countries, condoms are free. That's a very good thing. There is no tax, but we have to pay several kind of tax for sanitary pads. Although some of the countries are trying to remove those taxes at sanitary, that's appreciable, but not in all the countries that's available. And let's talk about the environmental aspects. How we dispose our sanitary pads. So let's talk about commercial sanitary pads. We use it and we throw it, wrapping in paper, plastic through and dustbin, which will ultimately result in any landfill site, river banks, soils, water resources, or we burn them out. That's ultimately also environment pollution. And let's talk about those piles of used sanitary pads on roads, and dogs are eating them. And one sanitary pad is made up of 2 or 3 kg of plastic, synthetic fibers, absorbent gel, pesticides, and so on. Pad takes 500 to 800 years to decompose. So in our calculation, in the basic calculation, once I use one sanitary commercial pad, that will affect my 7 generations at least. And in KTM Valley, which is the capital city of Nepal, 1.8 tons of menstrual waste only per month is recorded, and that was in 2012. In short, we use our environment to dispose our menstrual waste. Isn't this the time we should think about this, that how can we minimize this? My healthy period is compulsory, but along with my healthy periods, the world's health is also necessary. Okay. And these are some of the pictures. This is some water resource where our pad goes. Ultimately, we throw it in dustbin. And lastly, they go to pollute the water resources, and the dogs are taking them, or some kind of our sink pipes are getting affected of that. So, is our menstruation independent? Is our menstruation independent, or are we dependent on anything else? So menstruation has a triangle relation: society, economics, and environment. And then if we can manage all those. Okay, so my time is done. Okay, I'll try to conclude it in 1 minute. So this is our, if we can manage all that, then only our menstruation is independent. What is the solution? Let's accept is as it is. So salads are getting fertilized in some of the countries, and menstrual blood is one of the greatest source to NPK. And these are some of the paintings made up of menstrual bloods, and they have been sold in amazing prices. So let's talk about health. Okay, there are some of the tips for hygiene, breaking the taboo. Let's not talk it as girls' problem. It's menstruating, and let's try to produce the zero menstrual waste. This is the importance of reusable pad, which you can see later. And we need behavioral change. This is my journey from computer engineer to menstrual health talking. And this is about the pad bank. You can also see on our Facebook page. And we believe that change is not so far. And here I am ending my session. Thank you. You can query me at our page.
So wonderfully you have presented. It's very nice, the topic which you have chosen. Still in rural areas, in any country, the people are not aware of all these things. The people, or especially in the social background, if we are talking, the people they are not aware of such unexpected pain and problems of a woman. Later we'll discuss more about when we have our open discussion time. Now,
Yeah, sure.
once again, I congratulate you for your wonderful presentation. Now, the next participant or the speaker is Bala Jyoti, whose topic is to free ourselves. We must free ourselves. Please, you are most welcome.
Can you see my
Before
screen?
you will start, just a Bala Jyoti, just a minute, okay? Before you will start, I would like to request some of our friends what they do. Still, they have not muted themselves when they are presenting and they are trying to look like that. So please, it is my humble request to those people who are trying to disturb our good session going on. Please, thank you. Please, you carry on.
Can you see the screen? Are you audible to me?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yes, we can.
Yes. Biodiversity feeds the world, not poison and pesticides. Women feeds the world, not corporations. Localization feeds the world, not globalization. There is one myth that without green revolution, India would not have been fed, but the green revolution was only rice and wheat. It transformed to biodiversity systems with high productivity in monoculture of rice and wheat pumped with high doses of chemicals, 10 times more water. Today, our water has disappeared, our soils are polluted, and toxic pesticides have created a cancer pandemic and chronic diseases. The reality of who feeds the world is biodiversity. We are moving to Navadanya, the 9 seeds, these amazing millets, the forgotten foods that have disappeared from our fields and from our tables, the diversity of crops grown in cooperation, the amazing intensification of biodiversity where the beans grow with the cereals, where millets that produce 40 times more nutrition. We have driven out healthy food biodiversity and replaced with monocultures and industrial foods and agriculture. 28% oil food production using up to 75% of oil's resources. If they were to reach 100% of resources and destroy our soil, water and biodiversity and mess up the climate, they could at best get about 40% food supply. With the collapse of entire ecological base, we believe that replacing the monocultures of rice and wheat with monocultures of corn and soya that are genetically modified is feeding the world. Only 10% of corn and soya is grown worldwide. Why we are accepting 10% myth as basis of food security when we have eaten 8,500 species of plants? Without seeds, one cannot grow the crops. So we need seed to grow any crop. Today, seed has become a big problem area for the farmer as multinational companies from around the world has made it a means of making money. What is a seed? Seed, bija, in Sanskrit, is the source of life and first link in the food chain. Control over seed means a control over our lives, our food and our freedom. Seed is the source of life. Altering the genetics of seeds to create GMOs means disrupting the most natural expression of life itself. Seed is the first link and starting of the food chain that multinational gene guides want to control the food process by introducing GMOs in the food chain. A seed renews itself over time as it grows into a crop from which comes a new seed. Unlike normal seeds, GMOs are not self-renewable. Therefore, the use of GMOs not only destroys seed sovereignty but also compromises seed freedom. These are the two paths to the future of food and farming. The first path is made by walking with nature. This is the path of the life which has sustained humanity in its diversity. Today, these common principles practiced by diverse schools of ecological agriculture like organic farming, biodynamic farming, natural farming, etc. This is the path to the future. And the second path is industrial path. Based on the fossil fuels and poisons, this path is the path of death. It goes against the principles of nature and life. It is the path to biodiversity extinction, climate catastrophe, destructing of small farmers and spread of hunger, malnutrition and chronic diseases. 2020 is the year we can remember that we are the soil. Humans are made from humus. Adam is delivered from Adamus, the Hebrew word from soil, of soil. We are nothing without living soil. And today we are witnessing as waves of refugees are created from the lands which were desertified, devastated through exploiting the soil. Soils are dying just because of the industrial agriculture is killing due to the emission of greenhouse gases and the nitrogen oxides from chemical fertilizers and carbon dioxide and methane from factory emissions. By doing ecological agriculture, returning to agriculture matter to the soil and producing healthier food and more livelihoods, and also finally protecting small farmers and biodiversity. If we make peace with the soil, we can make peace between people. We solve the food insecurity, unemployment, and of course the climate problem. This is just can't solve the problem by just reducing emissions. In the soil, there's always a way of pulling out the stocks of excess carbon in the soil, takes it out of the air. Where too much carbon does not belong, put it into the soil through amazing magic of photosynthesis of a green living plant, and through this turn from the extractive logic of destruction to the cycle of return to gratitude to earth and to our ancestors and to the future. One planet, one health connected through biodiversity. Finally, we owing a living soil. Let's not miss this. We are the seeds of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Don't expect the world to change. Be the change you wish to see. Yes, my dear friends, we can make the change. We will make the change, and we should make the change. And we can begin with every day eating our food in a conscious way. Thank you, friends. I am Balajyoti Nalapu, an aspiring individual representing from Andhra Pradesh.
Wonderfully presented, Bala. It's again, no doubt, we the people. If we will not take care of our surroundings, who will be the sufferer? Of course, we will be the sufferer. We'll continue more about your topic in our open session. That's very nice. Now, I would like to request the next participant, the speaker, who is Moshama Moriam. Moshama Moriam, please get ready with your topic, that is youth development and leadership.
Masuma, test the microphone.
Sorry.
Masuma, you are not audible.
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
are
now.
audible.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Masuma Moriam from Bangladesh, and I would like to share my dream journey regarding youth development and leadership. Here I want to share my thoughts about leadership, and I think a leader is not the person who leads only an organization or a branch of people. I think a leader is a person who can make the volunteers or the workers of the organization feel that the organization belongs to them, and the success or failure of it is their team efforts only, nothing else. So I want to share my life journey so that you can know me and my works clearly. I am a I have completed my graduation from Dhaka University in disaster management, and I have 5 years volunteer experiences from different organizations of our Bangladesh, and I want to show that I have 2 organizations where I lead, and one is Shapno Youth Development Organization, which works for youth development, and in which I am the founder and the president. And another is Women's Haven for Humanity, which works for women empowerment as well as women development, in where I am the co-founder and general secretary. But I just want to share my experiences with Shapno Youth Development Organization to you, as it's a youth lead organization. So Shapno Youth Development Organization is a non-profit organization which is established in 2015, but is registered by our government, the Ministry of Youth and Sports of Bangladesh, in 2018. And it's a platform for the youth hearts to collaborate and contribute together for the society. And we focuses on youth development, and also provide them a baseline from where they can start and develop their skills to make better future. We basically worked offline, but for the pandemic we started to work in online. So basically these are some of our significant works of offline. I want to show that we have organized a workshop on women empowerment, then distribution of remuneration of training, which was provided by our government, then handicraft trainings for the women and young ladies. Then we have also arranged a campaign on COVID-19 awareness in a school of Chattogram, which was very effective among the students and also the teachers and parents. We have also arranged regular government audit and meetings, as well as we arranged workshops with parents for youth development, because we think that without the parents we can't focus or work on youth development. And here are some online activities of ours which we have started in 2020 because of the lockdown, and I want to say that we have huge success on this, and we have organized awareness rising on COVID-19 in March and April. Then we have completed almost 20 live programs, which was all hosted by me, and we focuses the issues and problems regarding youth development, and as well as health related problems and lockdown problems. Except that we have organized Shapno Photo Contest 2020, and also arranged campaign on mental health, which was effective among the general people and young people of Bangladesh. This was named on How Are You Really? And we have also give orientation to our new volunteers online, and arranged Zoom meetings with our volunteers in online. I want to share some success story of my organization. In January 2020, we have only 23 volunteers, in which only 15 were active. But in July 2020, we can collect more volunteers. There's almost 52 volunteers among the Bangladeshi youth who were from different universities, from public and private. So it's our huge success, I think, or I believe. And here is some activities or some working criteria we do for the youth. Basically, SIDO is creating networks among all the youth of different universities of Bangladesh. It inspires the youth to do some hard works and also contribute something positive in our society. Then SIDO works for developing leadership quality among the volunteers and members. SIDO is trying to address social problems and mitigating them by campaigns and awareness raising programs. We also try to give the youth the platform where they can plant ideas and execute them, and trying to give floor to those youth who are unprivileged and underprivileged in our country. And here is a dream for SIDO. Is basically my dream to make Swapno as one of the leading youth organization in our country so far in our world. So thank you so much for listening to me, and thanks to Kalam Youth Leadership Conference Authority for giving me the chance and floor to represent my country as well as my works. So thank you.
Once again, that's very nice. You have very nicely presented. Now, here is time for all of us for open session. Here, some of our friends, those they have questions they can ask here, and the rest to whom they are asking, they have to try to give their responses or their answers. Both of you or all of you, these four speakers, they have presented in their field whatever they are doing, whatever they feel good, they have presented nicely. Now, I just ask you so that others can participate here. And what you have to do, this is what it may be maximum 20 or somehow it will be the time where you will be asked your questions related to your work. Simply, I'm asking here from would you like to share your experiences or your challenges, or who is your motivation? How you started this work? Bhumisha? Okay, I think she is. My question is here for Mosham. What challenges you face during this assignment, this task, when you started doing? What are your challenges?
Thank you. So I had many challenges when I have started in 2015 when I was a kid. I think because that time I just joined university and could not do much more.
Okay. SK Sariyar, this is for you. What message you want to share? What message you want to give to the younger people of, it may be from India, it may be from Bhutan, it may be from all over the world. Please, your message. Hello. Hello. Okay, Balaji, is for you. Can you hear? Can you hear? Balajyoti?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay. So here is simple, very simple question for you. How you are getting support from, or the people those they are giving you support? Can you share your ideas, your answers for this question?
Can you repeat the question once? There was a network issue, so that I cannot hear you. Can you repeat it?
Yeah. Once again, I'm repeating. During your this work, how many of people, how many of your friends, your elders, they are giving you support? Are you getting their support or as you are doing individually?
Yes, the thing is, basically, I'm into IT industry as an application developer. I just got an idea just where I was looking for some startup ideas where I could contribute something to the country or to the people to around the people around me, what are the problems they are facing. So the main where I got is basically my father is into agriculture, my mom and my father is into so what I thought is why can't I help to my like the parents. I know the struggles from my family, and I know the struggles how farmers are facing. So I thought I got an idea, why can't I get IT industry connected with farming. So then I got into research, and with many there are many people like Dr. Vandana Shiva, and there are many other people who are doing international farming. So and there are Monsanto is actually it is a Monsanto where it is company, it is working with technically with them, but there are few pesticides where they are using and they are getting poison. So I just went into research of by Dr. Vandana Shiva and many other people in the research of organic farming and natural farming. So then I thought of why can't I choose this and why can't I help. And there are a lot of species in previous years, olden days, many people like all our grandfathers, old days will eat like millets and all these cereals, mirrors. They used to eat those grains, right? So now we are eating only rice and wheat and all these kinds of, and we are getting a lot of chronic diseases too, and we are facing a lot of health issues too. This like Navadanya into an it's a movement for me where I want to start it. And last year my father had grown into a farm. Basically my father used to farm like only cotton and mirchi from our area. So last year my father has grown in my farming as millets, and this year all the Navadanya.
That's very nice. Very great. Now, Promisha, are you here, Promisha? Promisha? Both of them are, I think they are not present here. This is how in our first session, technical session, this is what these all speakers, they have very nicely presented. Now, I request my friends to start for the second session, please.